Welcome to Bay Sunday, everybody. I'm your host, Frank Malika. Good to have you on board. Today, we're going to make you laugh. 3 comedians and a politician. That should get your Sunday rocking, I hope. Our first guest, a familiar face in San Francisco. He spent the last few decades lampooning just about every politician on the planet Earth. He's an author, a columnist, political pundit himself. And oh, yeah, he's a funny guy. He's a comic. Pleased to welcome back to the show, Will Durst. How are you?
Hey, Malika, how's it going?
I'm good, Mr. Durst. I'm good. Well, tell me, what is this love of politics? Has that always been around?
You know, my dad read 3 newspapers a day. I read through I just grew up thinking everybody did. And, of course, the crucible of Vietnam. So, I mean, you had to be political. It was part of the zeitgeist. Besides, I had to talk about what was going on. I didn't date a lot, so I couldn't do relationship humor.
Okay,
so
very
I just
good.
did politics.
You just did politics. So, well, you got a delicious scenario coming up. You got Bush and Clinton part 2, which could happen if both get nominated by their parties. What do you think about that? Jeb and Hillary. Here we go again.
The brother versus the wife.
Yes.
It sounds like a probate lawsuit. You know, it's and you're right. Bush Clinton too. This time it's personal. But you're not going to be able to recycle any material. But it's interesting having a third Bush. You know, really. I doubt if a third Roosevelt could have gotten elected.
I don't think so. Well, he's got some work to do, that's for sure. Do you miss George Bush because he had a target all over him, right? Junior, not senior.
Yeah, W was fun, and for 8 wonderful years, he was like a father to me. But Obama is good too because of the whole response to him, and we get to find out so much about these guys. I mean, we know every little peccadillo, and there's always something to do humor and mock and scoff and taunt.
When do you do that? Because I know you write a column, you write for a number of periodicals and newspapers and such. When do you sit down and be funny and write it down on paper and practice it? How does that all work?
Well, Ted Cruz helped me out this week.
Okay,
Ted Cruz announced that he was going to run for president by speaking at Liberty University at a mandatory attendance. So it was a mandatory attendance at Liberty University that you had to see him. And I just love that. I love Ted Cruz. He's like this Harvard, Princeton guy who pretends he's dumb.
Indiana's got a new law for religious freedom that will deny, well, I guess same-sex couples some of the freedoms in that state. What's your take on that?
I think it's a great idea. I think we should extend it. You know, if you wear a turban, you can't buy a couch. Okay. You know, I think with every religion, you just make up stuff. You know, I think, people will gravitate towards California. We're going to end up with more people. It'll be much better for us.
I know. Well, they're thinking, the NCAA's thinking, well, God, we got our Final Four there. This isn't right.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll move that out. Not a swift move by the governor there.
But it is Indiana. They're Hoosiers. You got to give them that.
That's true. Yeah, good point.
Poor babies.
Well, you hang out with Mayor Brown a little bit. You got a podcast. You used to do a radio talk show with him as well, I guess?
A long time. We did a year, and I had to get up at 4:30, which for a comedian was tough. Getting up at 4:30, because as a comedian, I sometimes went to bed after my new wake-up
I feel your
time.
pain, man. I'm up at 2:30 and anchoring the news at 4:30.
Oh, that's right. You got morning news.
Oh,
dude.
my God. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
How do you do that?
I don't know. Actually, my first 25 years in the business, I worked nights. I came out here, and it's like, I remember our assistant news director said, the hours are really tough, Frank. Do you really want to do this? And I said, oh, yeah. And that alarm goes off at 2:30, and you're like, oh, my God.
I have friends who put their paycheck stub right next to the alarm clock, and that's how they get up every morning.
There you go. Well, and you also got to be in the air at 4:30, hell or high water, look sweet and sharp, and deliver the news. Sometimes that's tough. So for you, are there nights where you just don't feel funny, and you got to go out and bring it?
Well, they call it a routine for a reason.
There you
I
go.
know what I'm
Okay.
going to say, but yeah, the crowd is so responsible for giving you some energy, and they don't realize it's a give and take.
Do you ever know where it's going to go when you start? Because people are going to say something, throw you a bone, and stuff goes through your head. Do you have kind of a beginning, a middle, and an end, or do you just kind of wing it?
A little bit of both. You know, you improvise the moment, but you still have your jokes, hopefully. You know, telling jokes, making people laugh out loud on purpose against their will, not a bad thing.
All right. Three Still Standing, too. Give us a plug for that. I know that's coming up.
There's a movie about three of us comics from the Bay Area, and the conceit is we didn't move to L.A., that we're still here, and we're still trying to make a living, and it's me and Larry Bubbles Brown and Johnny Steele, and it's going to the Toronto Hot Dogs Festival at the end of April, and we hope to find a distributor, so hopefully it'll come to a theater near you.
Okay.
And that's threestillstanding.com.
There you go. And the punchline tonight, your Sacramento, the punchline here in the first few weeks of April.
April 8th through 11th, Punchline, San Francisco. See you there.
All right. Will Durst, well done.
Thank you, bud.
Welcome aboard. Good to have you. For more information about where you can find Mr. Durst, check out willdurst.com. That's willdurst.com. More Bay Sunday right after the break. Stay there, folks.